Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are delighted to welcome you back to the 6th International Conference on Fisheries and Marine Research 2025, organized by Faculty of Fisheries and Marine Science, Universitas Brawijaya.
Thank you to all of the participants for tuning back in on the second day of ICoFMR 2025 under the theme Sustainable Fisheries and Marine Resources for Food Security and Human Prosperity. It is an honor for us to welcome back to all of the honorable speakers and all invited guests and all participants.
I am Dominique Antoine Erika Putri Sianipar.
I'm Muhammad Gavin Ahlanaribowo.
As the Master of Ceremony, and we would like to read today's agenda as follows. The first agenda is opening.
The second agenda is plenary session by keynote speakers and awarding.
The third agenda is closing for day 2. Before we delve even further, let us open our agenda today by praying according to your belief and religion. Please, time is yours. Thank you very much, dear audience. May the agenda run smoothly and successfully. Excellencies, participants, ladies and gentlemen. Now we are entering the third plenary session of this event, which will be led by Mr. Abdul Aziz Dasiri, Master of Science. Mr. Aziz is a senior lecturer specializing in biotechnology and molecular microbiology and food science. To Mr. Aziz, time is yours.
Yes. Honorable Professor Soottawat Benjakul, Honorable Professor Nurul Huda, Honorable Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Tamrin from BMRI UMS Sabah, Honorable Dr. Nur Asikin from UKM, Respectable Vice Dean of Financial Affairs, Dr. Rahmi Nurdiani, and Head of Department, Head of Study Program, and ICoFMR committees, distinguished participants. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are in the second session in ICoFMR. Few months ago, we went to Hat Yai, Thailand. In Prisongkla University, precisely in the International Center of Excellence on Seafood Science and Innovations. So in this great opportunity, among us, we have special guest, special professor, and then he is the director of the ISSI, Professor Soottawat Benjakul. He is scientific in not only in Thailand but around the world. So if you look at the Scopus database, so his high index Scopus around 112 or 112, with over 56,000 citations and a numerous achievement. Imagine how lucky we are in this great opportunity. We have a good occasion in ICoFMR 2025 to learn with the expert, especially for seafood science and innovations. He will be addressing the topic alternative food additive from shrimp and agriculture waste for seafood preservations. So the session will be 30 minutes for presentation and 15 minutes for Q&A. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Professor Soottawat Benjakul. So the floor is yours.
Sorry. Which one for me? Okay. Yeah, thank you so much for kind introduction and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to be here. And first of all, I would like to thank organizing committee for inviting me to join this conference and deliver my talk. My slide. Okay, so for my today talk is alternative food additive from shrimp and agricultural waste for seafood preservation. Seafood has become very income generator for in both Thailand and Indonesia. And due to its delicacy and also rich in nutrition, like for example, the protein and also omega-3 fatty acid. And you can take a look from here that from the global aquaculture of the shrimp, you can see most of the big producer from Asia country like Vietnam, India, China, Indonesia, Thailand, and for South America, Ecuador is #1 in terms of the production of the shrimp. And during processing, the shrimp is become leftover, and we can change the shell to be the chitin and chitosan. And from chitosan, we also convert to be chito-oligosaccharides or COS, which I focus today. And for how to produce a COS, actually, they have two major processes. The first one is enzymatic hydrolysis, and we can use a chitosanase, which is specific to the chitosan, but however, it's still costly. So we also like a study on the non-specific enzyme like amylase, lipase, or proteases. And from our study, we found that lipase is like the best one among all the hydrolase enzyme. And the second process means chemical hydrolysis. We're going to use a hydrogen peroxide. As you know, that hydrogen peroxide is a strong oxidative agent, and they can keep calcium bonding in the chitosan. And the second one is redox pair reaction. This is I'm going to explain later what's going on. But both method is kind of like a wrap with the fast process and also high potential with a cheaper price. And this is how they work. You can see from here that when we talk about redox pairs, mean we have ascorbic acid and hydrogen peroxide here, and when combined together, those hydroxy radical, which is powerful radical, can generate it, and it can clip glycosidic bond here to be like a small molecule we call a chito-oligosaccharides. And you can see from here for the COS produced from hydrogen peroxide, we use 1 molar hydrogen peroxide, but for a redox pair reaction, we use a 2 compound 0.05 molar ascorbic acid and 0.1 molar hydrogen peroxide. And we use incubate them at the 60 degrees Celsius for 2 hours. Take a look from here that the COS produced from hydrogen peroxide is white in color. However, for COS produced from redox pair, this they will have some strong yellow-like color. That because in the process, they have like produced a dehydroascorbate, which is yellow in color. However, when compared with the COS produced from redox pair and the COS produced from the hydrogen peroxide, you can see that all the COS produced from redox pair have the much higher antioxidant activity determined by DPS radical scavenging activity, BTS radical scavenging activity, FRAP, and metal chelating activities. And we also determine for the degree of depolymerization. So you can see here that COS produced from hydrogen peroxide, they have the degree of polymerization around 3 to 13. And the one with produced by redox pair have the 2 to 3 to 8 polymerization. So it means that they have a small molecule than this one. And we also confirm by gel permeable chromatography. And you can see here that the chitosan have the large molecular weight around 2,100 kilodalton, while the COS produced from hydrogen peroxide have the 1.2 kilodalton. The one that produced from the redox pair have the small one, 0.7 kilodalton. So this also confirmed that the redox pair reaction can produce a short chain of the COS. And we take a look from the antimicrobial activity. We use both the gram negative one, the red color, and also a gram positive one. This one, Pseudomonas aeruginosa, represent the sporadic bacteria, but for the rest is pathogenic bacteria. And between two of them, the clear zone, we use the clear zone to inhibit, to indicate the inhibitory activities. And you can see with the function of the concentration, the higher clear zone was increased with increasing the concentration. But when compared between this at the same concentration like 20 here, and you can see from here the COS from produced from the hydrogen peroxide have the lower clear zone than the COS produced from the redox pair reaction for all microbial tested. So it means that COS produced from the redox pair also show higher antimicrobial activities. And to increase the activity of COS, so we also graft the COS with the polyphenols. So the similar thing will happen. So first we have to generate the hydroxyl radical by redox pair. And then once we mix with the COS can be oxidized by hydroxyl radical and become macromolecule, which is not stable. So they need, because they lose electron, they need the electron from some sources like polyphenols. So polyphenol has been known as a strong antioxidant. So they provide electron and proton. And once they couple together, come up with a conjugate one like this. And how to prepare the COS of polyphenol conjugate. So that one is easy. The first one, we prepare the COS solution first. And then we also prepare the redox pair reaction separately. And then we mix together. And once they mix together, they generate the macromolecule radical here. So we add the polyphenol oxidase. Sorry, I cannot see. Okay, so yeah, so from here, you can see we use a gallic acid, caffeic acid, folic acid, catechin, and also EGCG. And we combine together for 2 hours and dialysis the free polyphenols. So we come up with the COS PPPN conjugate one. And also we compare between the polyphenol graph with the COS with different polyphenol. You can see gallic acid, folic acid, caffeic acid, EGC, and catechin. And you can see from here, all the assay, for the all assay tested, COS cat also show the highest activity when compared with the others conjugate one. And ORAC, maybe someone don't know about this. ORAC is a method to determine, which stand for oxygen radical absorbent activity. So this one target to peroxyl radical. It's okay. Yeah. And also we study antimicrobial activities between different conjugate one. We study MIC and MBC for several kind microorganisms like Pseudomonas aeruginosa, Vibrio parahydronicus, E. coli, Listeria aeruginosa, and Staph aureus. Again, COS cat also show the lowest MIC and the lowest MBC. It means what? It means that we need small amount to just inactivate or eradicate those kind of bacteria tested. So before using, so we have to just study for cytotoxicity. So we use the BJ, the normal cell line. So BJ is fibroblast cell. So from this one, you can see from here that up to what can I see? 500 ppm, no changes in the viability. However, when we add slightly higher, so it's slightly decrease of the viability of the cell. So this result confirmed that those COS cat also safe for consumption and can serve as additive one. So next part, we're gonna use the COS cat to preserve the pyrite white shrimp during storage at the 4 degrees Celsius. So how we do that? So we use the whole shrimp. So as you mentioned that the whole shrimp have the strong shell to cover the meat. So it's kind of difficult to just make the solution to get through. So what happens is we use the PF, stand for power electric field. So power electric field is kind of short pulse with high energy and apply to make the pore on the shell of the shrimp. And then we also like the soak in the solution, I mean, so it's cat solution and use vacuum impregnation. So what happened during the vacuum impregnation? So during vacuum, those kind of air or solution was sucked out from the pore. And once we release the vacuum, solution gonna get through the shell and maybe like inactivated enzyme and like PPO and also like microorganism underneath the shell. So that's why after that, we also drain it and keep it in 4 degrees Celsius. Okay. And take a look from the data here. We monitor TBC total available count, psychophilic material count, pseudomonas count. So you can see from here for the red bar, the control one, the first bar, they reach the 10 to 6, the 6 on CFU per gram on day 3. So it's mean that rejected. It's mean that not considerable for consumption. While the red bar is the one that use the 1% COS conjugate and pre-treat with the power electric field, followed by vacuum impregnation. Red bars, you can see that we can keep it up to 12 days and not exceed the limit for microorganism. However, on a 15-day, they exceed the limit. The similar trend was found with the cyclobacteria count and also pseudomonas bacterial count, because so we also like a study for hydrogen peroxide producing bacteria. Similar result was observed. So it means the CC PV2 also have the lowest count, and also we determine anaerobic CC count, and the similar result was obtained. And this is like a quality parameters we determined for total volatile base, and we found that the CC PV2, I mean the one that treated with 1% COS conjugate, COS cat, and prior PV positive field, and followed by vacuum impregnation, also the lowest TVB throughout the storage, and TMA also lowest throughout the among the treatment. So TMA, you may know that is kind of product produced by bacteria, actually for the spoiled bacteria, because they have the TMAO reactase, so they reduce TMAO to EMA, and TMA also fishy odor. And this is because we also found that they have the antioxidant activity, right? So that we monitor the PV and so T-bar. This is to represent the primary oxidation products. This is to represent the secondary oxidation product. And again, this the CC PV2 also have the lower PV and T-bar throughout the storage up to 15 days. And we also study the microbial communities among all the treatment. So we select some of them, like for example, the fresh one, we found that we found 12.46 Vibrio paramythicus in the fresh plastic white shrimp. You know why we found the Vibrio paramythicus? Because in the water that where the shrimp habitat, they also have Vibrio paramythicus in the water. So that's why it's contaminated easily. And this control at the, as I mentioned previously, that the day 3 is also spoiled. So we want to take a look at what kind of commodity. So we found the Chivinellas at around 3.5%. And Chivinella is one of species that have been known to cause the spoilage in the seafood, apart from Pseudomonas. And this is like a CCPV2 after 15 days, it's a spoil also. So we can see that the low percentage of spoiled bacteria, Shionella and Pseudomonas, and also have the low percentage of Vibrio species. So this means that we can use the project field together with the COS cat in combination with recombination as a like promising method to preserve the shrimp. All right, so how the COS polyphenol conjugate inhibit the microorganism? So we study time Q study, and you can see from here the for control and the lower MIC of COS cat, no differences, but still microbial growth still like keep growing. But for the 4-MIC and 2-MIC, you can see at 4-MIC, at 18 hours, they have no bacteria found here. So this means that the COS cat is kind of like I have the antimicrobial in a dose-dependent manner. And when we take a close look at the morphology of the cell, you can see for the control cell of the Vibrio paramyticus, we found that the rod shape, the surface is smooth. But when we use the 4-MIC concentration, you can see the pore and also shrinkage of the cell. This is make the bacteria lose control of content, and this is cause the death of the bacteria. Again, we also try to understand more on the leakage, so that's why we monitor conductivities. And you can see from here that the 4-MIC, they have the highest conductivity. That's because some iron is coming out. So we monitor potassium, magnesium. You can see from here potassium, iron. When we treat at MIC, regardless of concentration, they have the increase in the potassium when compared with control one, but no different among the magnesium. And also, we also determine diiodine which is also a product. So we postulate that when the lipid in membrane is dissipated by COS conjugated, free lipid might be prone to oxidation as indicated with higher level of MDA. And also we study DNA here. You can see from here that once we use a higher level of the MIC, like 2-MIC here, most of the DNA band is still on the stack gel. What happens is, so the actually COS conjugate have the positive charge and DNA have the phosphate group, so they interact each other. And once they interact each other, they cannot migrate into the gel properly, so that's why we cannot detect the DNA here. So we can conclude that once the COS cat go through the membrane and go inside and they interact with DNA and disrupting the physiological function of the bacteria and cause the bacteria die. And also, I'm gonna talk meta-analysis a bit. And this is a meta-analysis. Once you keep in the shrimp for maybe like a 3 or 4 days, you can see black spot here. So basically, the consumer consider it as a spoilage, but in fact, it's not. It's triggered by biochemical reaction mediated by the tyrosinase or polyphenol oxidase. So what happened here? You can see from here that we start from in shrimp, we assume that the tyrosine is the one that substrate because of the monophenols. And in the percent oxygen here, the PPO gonna induce hydroxylation, so from monophenol to diphenols, and the further oxidize to quinone. As you know, quinone is electrophilic, so they need some. They can interact with other compound like protein or other substances, so they can complex as the melanin is black in colors. And you can see like black in color like this. And to inhibit the tyrosinase or to prevent melanosis, so they have the compound available in market like 4-hexavalproisoxanol. Actually, this compound first founded by one person from University of Florida in US. They extract from the fig, and they also have the inhibition by competitive inhibitors kinetics. And you can hear the same group of the treatment. You can see that after 14 days, the one CCPV2, I mean the one that treated by 1%, also have the lowest black spot. You can see the control had the very black head, but this one had a less black head. And also melanosis score, also the similar trend. The control have the highest melanosis score, and the one, the CCPV2, have the lowest one. And we also studied the kinetics. We also found that it's mixed type inhibition kinetics by COS cat toward the PPO. And what happened? What we mean by mixed type inhibition kinetics? So I is an inhibitor. So you can see that the inhibitor can bind to enzyme, this enzyme, whether or not the enzyme has already bound with the substrate. So that's why it makes its potential to inhibit the enzyme. You can see from here. And we also do molecular docking. We use a pro-PPO. In fact, the PPO present in the shrimp also present in the pro-PPO. So it activated or active after proteases from microorganism and also some compound and become active PPO. But so we decided to use PPO with a natural form in the fresh shrimp. So we found that binding affinity is minus 8.5 kilocal per mole. So it means that very easy to bind together. And hydrogen bonding is a major bond that link together between the inhibitors, I mean, COS cat and also pro-PBO. And aromatic ring of cat is in display the different interaction between the proline 350 and tyrosine 208 and 209 separate the active side cavity from the cleft. Okay, I'm going to move to carbon dot. So carbon dot is a one that maybe I'm not sure you are familiar, but this one carbon dot is like the fluorescent nanometers with the size of less than 10 nanometers. So CD have the excellent biocompatibility, low toxicity, and also tunable optical properties. They have several kind of activity like antimicrobial and antioxidant activities. And of course, they can be used as a safe food additives. And you can take a look here, agriculture and food waste. We have, when we in the agriculture point of view, they have so many like a crop and also some during process, they have the waste generated. And during the food processing also, they have several kind of leftover generated during the processing. So basically, roughly 30% of food produce is loss or waste. During farming, the loss also found. So this kind of thing occur during production, distribution, and also consumption stages. And how to produce a carbon dot? So they have two major methods: the top-down method and the bottom-up. Top-down method is mean that they start from the precursor, which is have a compactness. So we have to have a harsh condition to produce a carbon dot. So for agricultural waste or food waste, we use bottom-up approach because they don't have the compact structure like this. And we do carbonization with the milder condition. So during the carbonization, what's mean by this is mean synthesis of the carbon dot, where the organic precursors are thermally decomposed to form small carbon nanoparticle with the functionalized surface. So surface is very important for carbon dot. You can see several kind of the group, HROH group, carboxyl group, amino group here. So this one also have luminescence properties, mean that they can generate emitting the light from the substances during the following the absorption of energy or the from the light or the energy from other sources. And you can see from here the red chip occur after oxidation here. Okay, so this is a property of the carbon dot. So I did a sample that we use the tangerine peel. So we use we use three cultivar, including sải năm phưng and chokun and also bangmot is kind of cultivar of the oranges in Thailand. And how to produce this, as I mentioned, it's not like a complicated at all. So we can start from the raw material, I mean peel, and then dry the powder, make it powders, and then transfer into reactors here and concentration 2%, and then put in the furnace for at 200 degrees Celsius for 6 hours and filter, and also ensure that no blood particle here. So we filter using 200 nanometers and come up with the carbon dot solution. And here, as I mentioned, that they have luminescence property. So this under UV at 365, you can see the blue color here. But this is a normal light. You can see the light, slight brown color. And also this particle size using TMM images. You can see some difference in size between the cultivar, but the size is lower than 10 nanometers. And also be confirmed by FTIR spectra using FTIR. So you can see the several functional group can be found, like hydroxyl group, carbonyl group, etc. And again, we also use as a additive. So we expect two properties in antioxidant and antimicrobial activities. And this one, you can see that we test for antioxidant activity using different assay. DPS radicals scavenger activity assay, ABTS radicals scavenger activity, and also FRAP and metal chelating activities. Among all three, sải năm phưng, I mean CD from sải năm phưng cultivar also show the highest activities. You can see from here. So in this slide, we can include that the raw material also important to determine the antioxidant activity of CDs. And this is the CD you can see here. And if we have the radicals like DPPH radicals, they also like provide the proton and electron, and then you become the radical. However, this one cannot induce the oxidation because the localization in the molecule, I can show you here. You see that the localization of electrons, so that's why they cannot induce the or abstract hydrogen from the fatty acid or anything like that. And we also test for antifungal activities. So we use the Aspergillus parasinoticus and also Aspergillus flavus. And you can see from here the activity depend on the cultivar. The first one, you can see those very small. Cyanamphung, I think this is purple one, show the lower the diameter of the colony. And this one also the similar thing. I mean, yeah, so this in this slide is mean that the raw material also determine the antifungal activities. We also do like a time queue also for a gram 3 or 4 sample, and you can see that most of the CD after 9 hours they die. We cannot detect that for E. coli. And for the Listeria, which is a gram-positive one, they're different in the among the 2 cultivar and 3 cultivars, and this also says nothing. However, they cannot inhibit the Pseudomonas aeruginosa, which is spoiler bacteria. So that's why in this case we have to use other antimicrobial activity, antimicrobial agent, maybe combination. And how the CD can activate the bacteria. So you can see that mostly the target in the membrane here, they make the pore here. And when they go in, they also interact with the DNA and also interact with others organelle. And again, we also test for cytotoxicity here. And you can see the cell viability. So the higher is mean that the good and no toxic. And you can see from here, even though we add to up 100 to 400, you can see that we have viability more than 80%. Okay, this is also around 80 or 70%. So it's confirmed that it's safe for a use as additive. And this one, we apply in the bivalves because it's polishable. We use the baby clam, which is one of the popular bivalves in Thailand. And we also treat it with the CD from the orange peel from 3 cultivar. And this is the last slide. And also we can see here the pH, the control one have the highest pH, while the one treated with the CD have the lower pH along the time for storage. And this one also the T-bar, PV. This is a PV peroxide where you also have the lower when we treated with the CVS from the different cultivar. And T-bar also the similar thing. And here, we also monitor total wearable count. You can see clearly that the control one, the black one, have the limit at the day 6. But for the one treated with CD, we can extend to maybe 9 to 10 days. And similarly, so what found with the cyclobacteria count. And just to give you a summary that we can work a lot on this CD, it's been that we can use the coating agent and we can incorporate in the polymers and become active film or active packaging here. And also we can directly add it in, like my case, I add in the baby clam. So then I'm going to come up with summary that value-added product from shrimp and agriculture and food waste should be converted to be alternative natural additive for seafood preservation. And chitosaccharide in the conjugate with the plant polyphenols should be maximally exploited, especially for cellular intention. And CD from agriculture and food waste can be used as additive in seafood due to abundance of precursor as well as their safety. And also food industry can have novel food additive for cheap, non-valuable natural sources for sustainability. So thank you so much for kind attention.
So again, thanks you very much for your insightful presentation for Professor Soottawat Benjakul. So So we now learn much more about what using waste or what byproduct from food or fish to find the new material, especially for extend shelf life of the product. So this also related to our SDGs, especially SDGs 12, responsible production and consumption, and also SDGs 14, below water. So the next session is the Q&A. Yeah. So anyone, if you have any question, yeah. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much for the time. I want to ask because my last experiment is also by using the byproduct and I applying it to white shrimp. And as you also provide in your PowerPoint that we also can use chicken eggshell. Now, because chicken eggshell is also containing calcium, so I formulate the chicken eggshell and add the calcium hydroxide and then I formulate into the feed and apply it into the white shrimp. The aim is for improving the molting process of white shrimp, but the results is not significant. So maybe you can give your opinion or suggestion to me. Maybe the materials and method that I use is not correct yet or something happens with my methods like that. Actually I also use the FTIR spectra and it's not significant improving. Thank you.
So just wondering that you use the what eggshell or shrimp shell? Eggshell, right?
Chicken eggshell.
Chicken eggshell.
Yes.
So what kind of product that you produce?
I produce the calcium hydroxide,
Yeah.
calcinate, and then just add it into the feed and apply into the
Fish?
white shrimp.
White shrimp?
Yes.
What the purpose?
The
What do you
purpose
expect?
is improving the molting process.
A molting process.
Yes, because molting process need the extra
I
calcium.
know. Because after they remove the old shell, they have to calcium, right?
Yes.
Just form, because in the shrimp shell, they have triple composition. The first one calcium carbonate, the second one protein, and so the third one chitin, right? So, but in your case, I don't know, maybe like actually in the eggshell, to my knowledge, they consist of calcium carbonate. But in the fish bone, they can contain calcium hydroxide, so different one. But actually, calcium carbonate, maybe I'm not sure that they precipitate or not. That's the important thing, because if you don't have the soluble form, the shrimp cannot uptake it easily. You see, calcium carbonate cannot dissolve, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's
So
why it's
maybe
useless.
we can improve it by using nanotechnology, like similar like that.
It's depends on the form of calcium. You see, like calcium carbonate, anything like that. So that's why we also work on the biocalcium, but we try to improve a bit more to just absorption. But this thing is kind of difficult. So you have to maybe what they call chelate with some amino acid. So you can search from the chelate, some term chelate, and this makes it more soluble. But you can use other but you can use calcium chloride, which is a water soluble, but not your objective, because your objective try to use eggshell, right? But unfortunately, it's not soluble. So if not soluble, the shrimp cannot absorb to make the shell. So you have to improve solubility.
Thank you so much.
Okay. So yeah, another question maybe from the floor. Okay. Yeah, please mention your name. Yeah.
Oke, baik, terima kasih Pak Aziz. Izin bertanya, Prof. Apakah dari kitosan oligosakarida ini dapat diaplikasikan pada produk turunan seperti kolagen ikan ataupun gelatin ikan? Seperti itu, Pak. Pertanyaan.
Okay. Thank you very much. So she asked about the Kaito oligosaccharides. Kaito oligosaccharide can apply in the collagen, maybe what incorporates with the collagen or gelatin to improve maybe function of the Kaito oligosaccharide.
Of course, you can, maybe you can conjugate with the collagen, I think, because but you have to just make it a radical first, like using a redox pair. So once the COS can become radical, radical. They also need the electron. So maybe the halogen going to provide electron to the COS and they conjugate one like that. But you have to try. But why we focus on polyphenol? Because we know that the source of electron. So that why easy to cope and we confident also. And also we check from whatever. So we found that it's conjugate.
Oke, jadi harus dicoba dulu ya. Jadi COC ya chitooligosaccharide dengan gelatin or collagen from fish maybe itu dicoba dulu ya. Itu dilihat dari fungsinya, kemudian kegunaannya untuk apa, gitu kan? Ya. Jadi itu. Maybe another question from the floor. Okay.
Okay, so my name is Senia India Aurelia, and I want to ask about. I saw that you made powder from tangerine peels in PowerPoint, and what temperature and method did you use? Because I'm in my final thesis project, and I make duckweed powder, and I'm still looking for the exact temperature.
Yeah, duckweed powder. So how to to active to improve the duckweed powder, especially for functional.
No, actually, the powder is like a the finer better. You understand? Because once the carbonization, so if you start from the peel, the piece big piece is quite difficult to just carbonization. So our job is try to reduce the size of the raw material first and grind it or blending. So that's why we have to and sieving to get the uniform powder and then transfer to reactor and then heat it. And during heating, under in absent of oxygen, the carbonization occur. Yeah.
About temperature.
Temperature.
Yes. Just
dry 50 to 60 degrees Celsius. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. We have one question from chat box. I would like to ask, how do the active compounds from shrimp and agriculture waste help to stop oxidations and microbial growth in seafoods? And what is the best way to extract these compounds?
Because I also explained already that for the CD compound from shrimp and both of them actually for microorganism they also attack to the cell membrane and cause the pore or shrinkage of the cell membrane. So once the cell is have a pore, so have the leakage of the content inside. And also once they get into the cell, they also interact with DNA as proved by my cell eight. And we also published the paper on that one. So that's the mechanism how to inactivate the microorganism. But for the antioxidant activities, okay, either CD or COS, COS polyphenols, they also have the provide electron or proton, as indicated by, for example, DPBS radical scavenger activity is a radical, DPS radical, and they accept the proton from the polyphenol conjugated to COS. So that the common mechanism how to preserve an antioxidant.
Yeah. Okay. So next question, maybe from Pak Haider. Yeah, actually he is the candidate Ph.D. Yeah. Pak Haider. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for the shot. Yeah, Pak Aziz. Prof. Soottawat, thank you so much for sharing the findings of your studies. Yeah, I'm wondering about carbon dots. Yeah, based on the last year our experience, yeah, our study, we use some let's say mangrove leaves as a source of polyphenol because we know the leaves rich of polyphenols compounds on. When we produce the IgNPS, nanoparticle from nitrate solution as a source of nitrate. Yeah, we use compound that containing in the leaves as a bioreductor to reduce the Ag plus ion Ag plus to be Ag in a natural condition, nitrate condition. Yeah. So for carbon dots that we can use polyphenol that contain in, let's say, mangrove leaves as a source of polyphenol to reduce, to synthesize the nanomaterial or something like that.
You mean after you extract some polyphenol from the leaf, and
Yeah.
you can use the residue, right?
Yeah,
Oh.
to as a bioreductor to reduce the nitrate, yeah, iron nitrate, yeah,
Iron nut.
iron, the iron. Yeah.
So let's talk about the residue after you extract maybe polyphenol from the leaf. So we also use that kind of thing because we want zero waste. So we use the chamomile flower. So we extract the essential oil, and then the residue we also do carbon dot like this. And so that's why you can use all the thing. But for your question,
Yeah. Actually, he extract mangrove leaf, and then combination with the
Silver to
silver nanoparticle.
silver nanoparticle.
Yeah. Silver nanoparticle.
silver nanoparticle. And then what you of course silver nanoparticle is has been known at antimicrobial activities, right?
Okay, so it is same method that we can use to produce carbon dots, or it's different kind to nano sizing.
I think I'm not sure you have to compare, but I think those kind of things also like a target to the cell. They say similar thing. So the silver nanoparticle is a very commonly used right now. They as an antimicrobial also they also affect on the membrane. So maybe similar thing, but exactly maybe not the same. But this different. I mean similar approach how to inactivate. So surface, a membrane, the effect in membrane. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So other questions from the floor? Yeah. So please use this moment because Prof. Soottawat is the global scientist in the world, especially for seafood science and innovations. Yeah. So another question. Again, another question, maybe from Miss Jenny. Oh, okay. That's right.
Permisi, sebelumnya saya Farohanun, izin bertanya dengan bahasa Indonesia. Jadi tadi disinggung tentang nanopartikel carbon dots, bersinggung dengan skripsi penelitian saya tentang nanopartikel daun mangrove Soneretia caseolaris. Setelah mempelajari tentang mekanisme sintesis tadi carbon dots, bagaimana metode sintesis hijau dari nanopartikel perak daun mangrove Soneretia caseolaris memastikan sifat antibakteri yang ramah lingkungan dan lebih efektif. Terima kasih.
Yeah, actually the question is still similar to the Mr. Hader questions. The question is how to extract it, how to synthesize the nanoparticle from mangrove leaf as and then make silver nanoparticle, and then how to prove the nanoparticle from the mangrove leaf as the antibacteria. Yeah.
You can do like I don't know about the zinc or you incorporate it, but if you want to use mango leaf as a substrate, I mean precursor, you have to dry the and grind it to the small particle and then subject to the hydrothermal process. Actually, they have several kind of the method, but we use the hydrothermal process because it's my condition. And after that, you can test antioxidant activity or antimicrobial activity, as I mentioned previously. You can study MIC-MBC for the target mechanism for see how effective it is. And you can compare with the commercial available microbial agent like potassium sorbate like this. And also antioxidant, you can use Sorokite assay, but don't use only one because antioxidant assay, you have to use 4 or 5 because each of assay, they have the different mode action.
Yeah, actually untuk sampelnya bisa dikeringkan dulu, kemudian dibuat powder ya, kemudian baru diekstrak. Nah, kemudian untuk tes antimikrobial maupun antioksidan ya. Jadi untuk antimikrobial bisa pakai MIC atau MBC ya untuk minimum concentration gitu kan, sama bactericidal minimum concentration to kill bacteria. And then untuk antioksidan jangan pakai satu saja antioksidan. Tapi pakai misalnya DPPH ya, kemudian EBTS, ada FREP, kemudian ada OREC ya untuk compare. Ya, jadi sampel kita ini yang punya fungsi ini di mana? Ya, di proton hanya atau di ion di ferumnya. Jadi masing-masing antioksidan itu punya target yang berbeda. Jadi lebih detail ya. Jadi nanti dicek semuanya dan tentu pakai kontrol. Jadi kalau penelitian tidak ada kontrol maupun kontrol positif maupun negatif itu useless. Ya, jadi itu yang dapat disarankan dari Profesor Soottawat Benjakul. Maybe next question. Ya. Ayo, pertanyaan selanjutnya. Ya, bisa pakai bahasa Indonesia nanti saya translate. Ya. Jadi susah untuk menjadwalkan Profesor Soottawat ini. Ya, it's very difficult to make schedule with Prof Soottawat. Yeah, so that's why please use this moment, yeah, to learn much more about the seafood science. Yeah. Any question? Is enough? Yeah, okay.
Perkenalkan, nama saya Pak Laskia. Saya izin bertanya, akhir-akhir ini kan penelitian saya ini tentang bakteri resisten antibiotik. Nah, kira-kira kalau misalnya kita itu ingin membuat sebuah inovasi untuk mencegah bakteri tersebut dengan dengan sediaan nanopartikel perak dengan spirulina ini. Nah, kan ini udah jadi nanopartikel perak. Terus jika dikombinasi dengan carbon dots ini, apakah potensi aktivitas antibakterinya ini bisa lebih besar seperti itu? Terima kasih.
Okay, she asked about the antibiotic resistant bacteria. So actually, she tried to make from mangrove, dari mangrove ya, spirulina. So make nanoparticle from spirulina, and then make a silver nanoparticle. So how to improve antibacterial activity if a nanoparticle incorporated with carbon dot? Yeah.
I think you have to try because actually the combination like hurdle technology, because I would say that like a single nanoparticle and also the carbon dot probably you're gonna have the different kind of reaction. So once you keep the optimum ratio between both of them, they can be synergism. So it means that they can more effective in inhibiting the microorganism. So please try and you can get the answer. Okay.
Ya, jadi intinya dicoba aja dengan rasio penambahan yang berbeda antara nanopartikel dari spirulina dan juga carbon dot. Mungkin carbon dotnya bisa diambil dari beberapa sampel tanaman ya. Itu kan intinya carbon dot itu kan arang aktif gitu. Jadi arang aktif ya kemudian dikombinasikan dengan nanopartikel dari spirulina. Nah, kemudian dicek ya dari rasio yang berbeda itu kira-kira mana rasio yang paling optimum atau efektif untuk kill bakteria, especially untuk bakteria yang resistant terhadap antibiotik. Itu. Ada question? Ya. Yeah. So we have 2 minutes left ya. Ada 2 menit lagi ya to discuss. Oke, Amel.
Thank you very much for the time. My name is Amelia Rizka Rahma, and my question is what limitation of stream derivative additive in food preservation compared to synthetic preservation, and what challenge still need to be addressed for their commercial use in food preservation? Thank you.
Yeah, actually, she asked about the comparison if we use the shrimp or agricultural waste, yeah, to enhance shelf life of the fish, and then the other one we compare with existing commercial what maybe antibiotic, yeah, to increase the shelf
In
life.
terms of aquaculture.
Yeah.
In terms of aquaculture, right?
No, kecil,
Additives. You mean
yeah.
additives? Um, I think when you compare, you can know, like, for example, okay, I talk about the antimicrobial activities. So basically the persimmon sorbate is a like commonly used. So if you want to compare, you can like do in vitro study first and see how they like maybe MIC or Clearson inhibition. So you have used some of these technique to just verify which one is better. Okay, and for that one, so you can see the efficiency of your sample. What else?
Yeah, if we use the commercial ones, food additive maybe, to compare with the cost that
Cost.
yeah.
The cost, because actually the or precursor is the waste, so that's why it's like a simple. For example, carbon dot, I mean, I presented like a peel, so you can grab from everywhere and then just dry it and grind it and then just put in the reactor, which is quite simple, and then you come out with a carbon dot. That's it. Yes.
Yeah, so time is over. So thank you very much, Professor Soottawat Benjakul, for insightful presentation. And we hope next year you can come back to the UB, right? Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yeah, please give applause to the Professor Soottawat Benjakul.
Thank you very much for the insightful discussion. We hope the knowledge will broaden our perspective and become a solid foundation for advancing sustainable fisheries and marine resources for food security and human prosperity.
Excellencies, participants, ladies and gentlemen. Now we are entering the fourth plenary session of this event, which will be led by Mr. Muhammad Fahri, Ph.D. Mr. Fahri is a senior lecturer specializing in molecular biology, microalgae, biotechnology, and fish nutrition. To Mr. Fahri, time is yours.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, colleagues, and participants joining us on site and online. Welcome to the plenary session 4 of the 6th International Conference on Fisheries and Marine Research, ICoFMR 2025, held by Faculty of Fisheries and Marine Science, Universitas Brawijaya. I'm Muhammad Fahri. It is a very pleasure to serve you as your moderator in today's presentation. As we move forward to the second closing moment of our 2 days conference, I believe that this session that we are about to begin will leave very impression to us in this ICoFMR 2025. It is a very great honor for me. Let me briefly introduce Dr. Rahmi. Okay, it's a very great honor for me to introduce Dr. Rahmi Nurdiani, Ph.D. She is an associate professor in Faculty of Fisheries and Marine Science, Universitas Brawijaya, Indonesia. His current position is associate professor, and she also holds a very important leadership position in our faculty, as she served as Vice Dean for General Affairs, Finance, and General Affairs Finance in faculty years, and also currently she still serve as head of department of MSPK. She published a lot of publication in the last 5 years, and if you are looking for the Google Scholar, she has a 19H index. So she is very active researchers and also hold a very strong position in our faculty. Without any further ado, please feel welcome to Associate Professor Dr. Rahmi Nurdiani. And please give a very warm welcome to Dr. Rahmi Nurdiani. Thank you, Ibu, for being here with us today. How are you? Nervous. I also a little bit nervous. Okay, can in here for the presentation today, I will. Okay. Her presentation today on title of a very interesting talk with the title of Driving Blue Transformation, Fish Waste Valorization for Circular Economy, Indonesia case study aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals. Are you ready to give? Okay, you have 30 minutes for presentation, and after which we will have 15 minutes for Q&A. Yes, for the participant on site and also joining us in online, please prepare your very good question and also actively contribute to the discussion session. Okay, now floor and time is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Prof. Fahri. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, thank you for the committee. Thank you, everyone. Good morning. Today, I'd like to talk about a bit general than the Prof. Soottawat talk. So, about driving blue transformation regarding the fish waste valorization for circular economy. I'm going to focus on the Indonesia case study. So also align it with the SDGs. So SDGs has already become trends here. Everything has to be related to SDGs, sustainability. So my name is Rahmi Nurdiani. You know, from Pak Fahri introduction, I have too many positions. So bit headache. Thank you. Okay, next. Okay, so the talk today is mainly about the urgency of the fish waste valorization, especially in Indonesia case. You know, we have a very fast, is the country itself, Indonesia vast archipelago, and also have a rich marine biodiversity. So it is a very good point, but also it's very challenging, and we have a hidden problems and challenge regarding in waste management. Yeah, especially in coastal communities and also during the supply chains of fisheries product. Okay, next. Okay, in the beginning, I like to give you a description about that we have a very high production, fisheries production, approximately like 20 to 25 million tons per year. Very high number, and it's increasing during the last 5 years, especially for seaweed, aquaculture. For the capture fisheries, a bit lower, but it's still high compared to other countries in our region. So this is a good point too, and then during the process, we also generate a lot of waste that we have to manage. Next, please. Yeah, this is our challenge. Okay, during the supply chains and the processing, etc., we have to face the fishery loss and waste. Yeah, so during the chains, there are massive waste generation, up to 75% waste will be generated during the process. Especially it's because to the storage and processing inefficiencies, and also facilities. Okay. Because the scale of production is quite big, more than 20 millions, you can imagine how many lots and how many ways we can produce during the year. Okay, the direct impact will be the for environmental impact. So we usually directly, dump the waste. Sometimes they dump the waste on the sea, in the sea, and maybe on the land will be like the big mountain waste, including fish waste. Next. Okay, here we will talk about the causes of fish loss and waste. Okay, I will go. Okay, in every stage of fish production, processing until consumption, there are many stages where we produce waste and also we get losses. So the first one, in the harvesting stages, there are many fish discards, and also maybe, also illegal fishing is included. And the absence of chilling on board also contributes a lot of fish loss and waste. The one on the post-harvest, because mainly the loss is caused by the lack of appropriate storage and infrastructure, and then poor handling, and then poor cold chains, poor facilities, Okay, the next stage will be the processing. This is one of the stages during the supply chains that causes a lot of loss and waste, because mainly in one of the processing stage, there are like sortation. We have to remove the head, remove the viscera, and etc. During distribution, maybe because there's a poor transport facilities, the fish becomes decayed, and then it becomes our loss. Until consumption, when we attend like a wedding ceremony, maybe we tend to waste food, right? And then that's how become our loss. Okay, next. Thanks. Okay, so every day there's a lot of fish waste we accumulate. In Indonesian community, not only coastal, but everywhere in Indonesia. So what if we can use this waste because become the foundation for sustainable economic growth? Prof. Soottawat already explained that we can utilize the fish waste to produce very valuable products. Next, please. The utilization of fish waste is related to several SDGs. Maybe the first one will be like SDG 12, responsible production. If we can transform the fish waste, we can reduce waste generation and also promote the sustainable consumption. The next one is life below water, because it's seafood, so it will be automatically related with the SDG 14. If we can protect the marine ecosystem, I think we can create economic value from the waste material. And also SDG 13, for climate actions, we try to cut the greenhouse gas emission, because the one we dump, as a waste usually generate greenhouse gas emission. So if we can reduce that, then we can reduce we can work in the climate action. Okay, what is the circular economy in fisheries? Basically, usually we practice the linear model economy. So we take, we make, and then we dispose. But for the circular economy, we try to reduce, reuse, and also recycle, to maximize the resources we have. We have a lot of resources, but not every resources we use, we use it optimally and maximally. Okay. In circular economy, we also create value from the waste, from the waste, maybe for animal feed, for protein hydrolysis, for nutraceutical, etc. During circular economy, for a circular economy, we also need the integration of technology. So yeah, we have to implement technology to for the waste treatment, maybe also for to produce the value-added products. Yeah, we cannot leave the technology behind. Yeah. Okay, for fisheries, yeah, basically this is the circular economy. We works according to 3R approach: reduce, reuse, and recycle. Yeah. If we can optimize to use these 3R, I think we can create regenerative systems. Yeah, then we can change the waste into valuable resources. Yeah, there are many technologies, innovative technologies that we can do to transform fish waste. If you read Prof. Soottawat publication, there are many technologies, whether you understand or not, to convert the fish waste to valuable products. Yeah. Okay. Next. The first, maybe one of the examples, if the development of fish protein hydrolysis, it's quite easy process. There are many kinds of fish protein hydrolysis already developed. Yeah, it can be used for animal feed. Yeah, and also can be used to increase the storage life of the seafood products. Yeah, for example, like we can use the fish protein from surimi byproducts to increase the storage life of surimi, something like that. Yeah, so we can reuse and reduce and also recycle. Next, yeah. Fish protein hydrolysis also can be used as a nutraceutical and cancer, antioxidant, anti-hypertensive, also for the functional and fortified food, yeah, for supplements and for everything. So from this process itself, you can imagine how many money we can have if we can use the fish waste. Yeah. Yeah. This one, another innovation. Yeah, maybe we can use the fish protein hydrolysis for bread. Yeah. Yeah, we can add fish waste protein into bread, pasta or yogurt. Yeah. Can increase the storage life or maybe the consumer preference. Increase the nutritional value of the products. And we can finally open the new market segment for the fishery products. I think maybe students who attend this session, mostly from THP, is it? Ah, okay. So, fish steak. Steak apa? Jaya. Oh, bukan. Okay. Okay, we move on to the economic and social impact of the fish waste valorization. So yeah, there's so many paper talking about how we can use the fish waste. Yeah, so the first one maybe for environmental benefits. Yeah, and then further we can also strengthen the social resilience in the coastal communities. So we can really it's used as one of the community service to introduce the circular economy on the coastal communities. Yeah. Okay, next. Yeah. Okay. We will know the opportunity of the use of fish waste if we know that the market is there, right? We can see here for the blue food market forecast, including product from fish waste. It's predicted in 2030, the blue food market will reach like 419 US billion dollars. So yeah, if we convert it to rupiah, it's too many zeros, I think. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So there are many opportunities for us that we can develop the blue food from Yeah, especially from fish waste. Yeah, if we can get into the global market, it will be great. Okay, next. Yeah, from one fish. Yeah, from one fish we can create a lot of value-added products. Yeah, from the scales maybe we can convert into cosmetic, collagen. Yeah, and then animal feed. For the liver, we can produce omega-3 fatty acid, and etc. There's so many opportunities to do that. Okay, next. Okay, now we focus on one of the main commodities in Indonesia. Yeah, tuna is one of the main commodities in Indonesia. For tuna processing, usually the main part that can be used or sell or exported will be the loin or steak. Yeah. The trim, the belly part, and then the bones, the skins will not be used. What is it? And not many use it, so it will be like more than 50% will be considered as waste. Yeah, but actually we can use all the part of the tuna if we know how to do it, right? Okay, next. Oh, it's too small. I cannot see. Okay, the total tuna production in 2022, according to Ministry of Fisheries and Marine, there are more than 300 tons of tuna. So 300,000, yeah, 300,000 tons of tuna. Yeah. If you imagine then from 300,000 tuna and around 50% become waste, be a lot of waste produced, right? So if we don't use and we don't apply this circular economy method or system, then we produce a lot of waste. And then actually this waste can have economical value. Next slide, please. Okay, this one, yeah. This one from the study, yeah, from the study by Bapenas, Ministry of Planning something. Okay, yeah, usually from tuna, we produce, for the byproduct, we use head, viscera, trimming, dark meat, skin, bones, wastewater, and blood. We can use all of them, yeah. And then, for example, from the head or the bones, we can produce like tuna silage for the fertilizer or protein hydrolysis. For protein hydrolysis, we can generate income like for 8, how many zeros is that? A lot of zeros. So many zeros, especially in rupiah, yeah? So, yeah, and also for gelatins, tuna oil, and also protease and fish flour, there's so many zeros. So if we can really utilize the fish waste from tuna, we can have like more than like 10.21 trillion rupiah. Yeah, that's the what's it? The forecast or prediction. It's estimation, yeah. So there'll be maybe less tax, ya Pak Fahri ya? Yeah, maybe less tax. So we'll be happy. Okay, the next main commodities in Indonesia is shrimp. Yeah, shrimp. Mostly we all sometimes shrimp. It's a process as a whole shrimp, and then they sell it and then export it. But most of the time, we remove the heads. We also remove the skin, so become like headless shrimp and also peeled shrimp. So the head, the skin of the shrimp is become waste. Yeah, it's around like 44% become waste. Yeah. Next. Yeah, we can also use the waste from shrimp, and it also generate a lot of income for Indonesia if we like to. Yeah, we can convert it into chitin, chitosan, shrimp oil, protein hydrolysis. We can use the pigment, zeaxanthin, yeah, we can use the sauce, right? Yeah, so natural pigment also become food. So it's very high economic value. Okay, yeah, there's very a lot of the temptation to make an industry. Yeah, so we have economic potential, but we also have challenges to face. Yeah. Okay, first one, we face the current market gap. Yeah, it's very low shrimp and fish waste valorization at the moment. Yeah, not many industry in Indonesia already apply the circular economy. Yeah, they usually just sell the waste to the third party, or maybe like directly dumped it. Yeah, and also lack of stakeholder synergy. Yeah, circular economy is like a big piece of cake, and a lot of people like to take a piece of it. Yeah, small piece of it, but there's a lack of synergy between stakeholders. That's why we need to have a required coordination between government, non-government organization, and also academia. Yeah, maybe from Universitas Brawijaya. Yeah, government play important role here because we need a policy. Yeah, to prioritize the circular economy. Next. Yeah. Now, finally, maybe we can do empowering the coastal communities. If we implement this circular economy, we can create job, we can improve profit for them, and also for food security. So no need for MVG, yeah, no need for MVG. Yeah, because we have food security. Yeah, Indonesia is already play important role globally actually. Yeah, also we usually we always target and make a roadmap to target 2045 because when we have like 100 years, yeah, Indonesia in 100 years. So for circular economy in Indonesia, there are 5 pillars. The first one is food strategy. Maybe that's why we have MDG now. We also plastic packaging strategy, electronic strategy, and also construction. The last one is textile. Yeah. For seafood, for fisheries, we are included in the food one. Yeah, the food strategy. So basically, any research, yeah, any collaboration with government, we can play important role in there. Yeah, as a student, as a lecturer, and also as an academician in the fisheries faculty. Yeah, next. Yeah, okay. Maybe we can skip this. I think we have more than that. Okay. Yeah. If we can do it, we can contribute the global SDGs. Yeah, with the circular economy in Indonesia, we can implement the SDG 2. Yeah, zero hunger, and then decent work because we can create jobs from producing fish waste, value-added product from fish waste, and also innovation infrastructure. Okay, thanks. Okay, so can we do it? Yeah, because now at the moment, the utilization of fish resources is mostly fully exploited, yeah. Overexploited is more than 35%. Yeah, I think the answer is yes. If we can work together, we can collaborate, work together. We have the national pilot projects to do all of this and strategic coordination between all stakeholders in Indonesia. Okay, next. Yeah, this one, the strategic recommendation, if we like to scale up the circular economy in Indonesia. Okay, we have a multi-stakeholder partnership, and then we have a lot of policy, and then we need to implement the policy itself. And also, one of the most important one is the investment in research and development. Yeah, research like Professor Soottawat do need a lot of investment, right? So we need okay. This is several examples of the industry in Indonesia that already implementing the circular economy. One of them is in Lamongan. Yeah, it's a surimi producer. They use the meat for the surimi and they use the leftover or the waste as the fish meal. So they have like connecting industry. Yeah. And then the next one is BJ Seafood. BJ Seafood, they usually produce like nugget, siomai. Yeah, they use trimming byproducts for that. And also for the waste, they use for the black soldier fly culture. Yeah, and then the maggot can be used as a animal feed. Yeah. Okay, next, thanks. Okay, the other example is Aruna. Yeah, it's the startup maybe. Yeah, they focus on the coastal community development and strengthening the community. They use the crab cells and they produce like chitin, the shrimp, the crab cell powder. And then next they sell it as a raw material for chitin and chitosan material. Okay. Okay, this one is the policy recommendation. If we like to apply the circular economy in the fisheries and marine. Yeah, we have to change our behavior. Yeah, we have to reduce the loss and waste in fisheries. We have to increase awareness. Yeah, and then we also have to fish waste utilization, and develop the the studies regarding fish waste valorization. Yeah. So I said before that government already make initiative and make a lot of policies. Yeah. Mainly between the Ministry of Marine Affairs and Fisheries and also Ministry of National Development Planning or Bappenas. They already launched several books. Yeah, you can access publicly. Yeah, regarding the blue food assessment, food loss and waste in Indonesia, blue economy, and many. Yeah, but I don't think it'll be implemented in the short term because it needs long term to do it. So there's a lot of policy and recommendation that we can do. Okay, next, thanks. Yeah, this is the last slide, I think. So can we do it? We'll say yes. Yeah, we can do it together. Yeah, to unlock the potential of the fish waste for a sustainable circular economy. Next. Okay, thank you very much for your attention. Let's have a discussion and let's collaborate. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Professor Rahmi, for very inspiring, insightful, and interesting talk. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now we are moved to the Q&A session. So if for the participant on site, you can just raise your hand. You can use Bahasa, either Bahasa or English is also okay. And also for the participant joining us online, you can use the chat box, just simply text it, and also use the raise hand feature if you want to speak with us directly. Okay.
Sebelumnya, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi.
Selamat siang, Prof. Terima kasih atas waktunya. Perkenalkan, nama saya Kenes Aulia, mahasiswa Teknologi Hasil Perikanan. Izin bertanya terkait yang tadi sudah disampaikan mengenai ekonomi sirkular, yaitu sebagian besar memanfaatkan atau berasal dari bahan limbah atau produk samping by product. Lalu pertanyaan saya, bagaimana terkait adanya resiko kontaminasi baik kimia atau mikrobiologi yang mungkin terjadi, serta bagaimana memastikan terkait kualitas dari keamanan konsumen sendiri dapat terjaga seperti dari segi kesehatan, harga, dan lain sebagainya. Terima kasih, Prof.
Okay, thank you so much. I think unlike Pak Aziz before, Dr. Aziz before, I don't need to translate it into English, right? Because we already, I have to translate it into, okay, then, okay, it's okay, right?
Okay, thank you for the question. Mbak, do we need to answer it in bahasa Indonesia? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's quite maybe quite difficult, yeah, to change the perspective of the use of fish waste. If we imagine about fish waste, is usually like a negative, ya, biasanya negatif gitu kan ya. Ini sampah waste gitu ya, berarti biasanya akan buruk, jelek, stinky, something like that. So usually have a negative what is it, impression, yeah, negative impression about regarding fish waste. So how do we
how about the risk of the contamination?
the risk of
Yeah, is there
contamination?
any-
Yeah. So if we like to implement the circular economy regarding the fish waste, we have to implement from the beginning. So we have to plan from the beginning, like from many stages, maybe from the harvesting, from the processing, and etc. We have to make sure that the quality of the fish waste is also good. Ya, so dari awal harus dipastikan bahwa memang kualitas dari fish waste ini tetap bagus. Jadi bukan benar-benar sebagai sampah ataupun tidak lagi digunakan. Ya, jadi kualitasnya misalnya handlingnya itu tetap harus seperti main product, seperti itu. Ya, tentu saja untuk produk yang dihasilkan tetap harus mengikuti standar yang bisa diterima oleh konsumen. Ya, misalnya produk-produk yang main product itu kan ada standarnya, mikrobialnya berapa dan lain sebagainya. Nah, itu juga tetap harus diterapkan. Dan selain itu juga untuk memproduksi value added product from the waste, ya itu tetap mengikuti GMP or apa itu? Good manufacturing product untuk menghindari kontaminasi. Just the same as if we like to produce the main product, we also apply the good manufacturing practices in producing a value-added product from fish waste. That's how we avoid the risk of contamination. Itu ya, Mbak.
Mbak, have you get the point, right? Okay, ya, ini kan. Because maybe fish tech is highly related to the hazard analysis and critical control point, right? Yeah. And the JMP is, I think, the base, the foundation of the, and then there are SSOP and also the hazard analysis critical point. I'm not sure, but because this is food, and also fit is also applied for the HACCP. Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Is there any question? Okay. Pak Haidar, maybe Mbak Bu Jenny, Dr. Haidar, Dr. Jenny, if you have. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity. I want to ask about fisheries processing. Among the many technologies for processing fishery waste into product, is there any waste processing technology that is worth scaling up to an industrial scale, considering production costs and ease of the method? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mbak. Okay. Yeah, if you like to scaling up the production of value-added product from fish waste, yeah, we have to do some research, etc. And actually applicable if you like to scaling up, yeah, we have to do a lot of studies to do that. So, for example, if now is trend for the processing animal feed. Yesterday we talked about how we now compete with the pet for the for the fish. Because pet food is quite expensive. Yeah, so maybe more industry will prefer to produce fish pet. So it's not impossible to scaling up. So, but of course, yeah, we have to see and check and maybe choose the simple technology maybe, and then the one that feasible to do it in the industry scale and etc. Usually, the most general one is the industry of animal feed. Yeah, scaling up is quite easy, I think, for that one. Yeah, for other product, yeah, we have to do a lot of studies before we can apply it for an industry. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mbak. Professor Rahmi, we also have a few questions from the chat box. So, okay, first question is I would like to ask for not Miss, but Professor Rahmi, if companies like Starfood and BJ Seafood have already proven that circular economy works in fish processing, what stopped the rest of the industry from following suit, and how long can they stay competitive without it? Yeah, can they still competitive if they apply like the fish waste valorization is something like that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because the Starfood and BJC put already proved that. Yeah, it works. Yeah, but maybe yeah, from most of the industry, they think that circular economy and application is quite expensive. Yeah, it's not easy. You know, the technology is not cheap. So maybe that's why one of the reason why they not doing the circular economy at the moment yet. So they have still doing the studies maybe. So hopefully next time, because you know like I said, circular economy is like a big piece of cake, and a lot of people, a lot of ministry working on it. So sometimes it's not the synergic works. It's not working. So sometimes they like they do the same thing, and then something is missing still. So the policy and the implementation sometimes is not still not working well. That's why. Also, the standard for the value-added product, yeah, is also maybe usually, you know, the standard national Indonesia is mostly for the fish product, for the main materials. Yeah, from the fish waste, it's hard to get from the standard national Indonesia SNE. Susah mungkin dapat ya. Gitu. That's why so many things still hinder the development of this circular economy.
Okay, Ibu, thank you. So our next question is from Umbu Dawa. Hello, Umbu Dawa. So Pak Umbu Dawa, and his question is talking about the circular economy. How urgent is fish waste valorization in small-scale fisheries or coastal communities with limited facilities? That's the first question. And the second one is what kind of low-cost innovation or technologies can be applied to support it?
Okay, thank you, Pak Umbu, for the question. It's very urgent actually for the fish waste valorization for the coastal communities and small scale fisheries industry actually should be in the front line to do this, yeah, circular economy, because they directly get a lot of maybe fish waste from their processing, something like that. So the simplest technology maybe just like reduce the size. This is the most easiest things to do. Yeah, reduce the size. For example, like for the waste from cells, yes, the yes, ya like dari kerang misalnya ya, cangkang kerang, we can produce the like the cell powder, and then we can use it for other things like produce. If we make it small enough, we can use it for the skincare, maybe like that. It's very, very easy. Yeah, for the fish, fish feed or fish powder or fish animal feed, it's quite easy too, because we only like mix it and then we dry it. Yeah, mix with water and maybe reduce the moisture, and then we can produce this powder. I think it's the most simple one for the technology, for that one, Pak Umbu. Yeah, I think many things I haven't think about. Ya, sepertinya banyak belum Pak, belum kepikiran deh.
Okay, but maybe if we applied for the fish feed, I think it's quite like more applicable than for the food, right?
Because
in terms of like the food or feed safety, something like.
Yeah, food safety. Yeah, we have no, you don't have to worry about the fish become allergic from the feed, right?
Yes, absolutely, right, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, another question from the chat box. Mohon izin bertanya Bu Rahmi, dengan beragamnya kultur dan budaya khususnya masyarakat perikanan Indonesia, bagaimana pandangan Ibu agar kesadaran dan pemahaman masyarakat kita yang bervariasi tersebut dalam memanfaatkan fish waste menjadi qualified unwaste dan memberikan nilai profit dan benefit for sustainability. I think it's about the culture, right? How to.
Yeah, it's a long term thing. Still a long term because it's very difficult to change the perspective of the community. Ya, jadi harus long term melalui ya edukasi ya, education dengan pemahaman gitu. Jadi penyuluhan. Kalau kita ya pengabdian masyarakat gitu Pak. Jadi memang harus sering dan juga branding dan lain sebagainya harus lebih banyak di media sosial ya ataupun itu. Jadi lebih banyak branding sehingga terbiasa. Sekarang kan belum terbiasa, jadi seperti aneh gitu. Terbiasa mungkin cuma anak PHP aja yang terbiasa.
Okay, is there any question from the chat box, Pak Dedi? Okay, we still have a lot of time actually. Maybe 10 minutes left. Or, yeah, 10 minutes left. Is there any question from the floor, from students? Okay, well, we have a lot of questions, Dr. Rahmi. Because, yeah.
Baik, terima kasih Pak dan selamat pagi Bu Rahmi. Perkenalkan nama saya Aulia Hawaesa. Mungkin saya izin bertanya kepada Bu Rahmi terkait pemanfaatan limbah hasil perikanan yang dimanfaatkan sebagai hidrolisat protein ikan menggunakan 2 enzim pada proses hidrolisisnya. Mungkin di sini tantangannya adalah memilih kombinasi enzim yang tepat dan untuk mengatur kondisi reaksinya agar efektif. Nah, pertanyaan saya dalam aplikasi hidrolisis ganda, bagaimana cara menentukan urutan pemberian enzim yang optimal untuk memaksimalkan rendemen peptida bioaktifnya dan mencegah interferensi enzimatik, Bu. Baik, terima kasih, Bu Rahmi.
Maybe I can translate it and give it the question to Prof. Sorry. Okay, translate it. Okay, I will translate the questions. Yeah, they use like 2 enzymes to produce hydrolyzed protein, and then she like to know how to like arrange the use of this enzyme to make it more to optimize the process. So which one first, which one the second, or maybe we can combine the enzyme. What factors maybe we can consider, something like that. Thank you.
So actually, it's depends on raw material. Basically, we can use the combine stepwise or like combine together. So this is depend on the raw material. But one thing that you have considered that you have to consider about the degree of hydrolysis one, because this one gonna related with the size of peptide, and size of peptide also play a major role on the activity also. And one thing you have to just consider, if you start from the frame and which have the muscle protein there, you have to consider about bitterness, very bitter. But if you like start from like a skin or scale to produce hydrolyzed one, that one no bitterness. That because the amino acid sequence in the alpha chain doesn't have much like a hydrophobic amino acid. So that thing happen. But this one you have to take time to optimize. If you can start from parpane, for example, and followed by alkylase, or you can switch and you combine together, and you have to optimize the time as well. And during that reaction, you can monitor sampling the sample and measure the DH, degree of hydrolysis one. So what is mean the degree of hydrolysis one is mean that number of the peptide cleaved per total peptide in the protein there. Yeah.
Gitu. Ya, Mbak. Jadi kita harus memperhatikan enzimnya ini terserah aja mau tapi harus dilihat nanti hasilnya ke degree of hydrolysisnya. Ya, dan juga kita harus menghindari timbulnya bitterness atau pahit gitu. Tergantung juga raw material. It depend on the raw material. Ya, we can use the frame, tulang ataupun yang masih ada muscle-nya. It will cause bitterness, isn't it? And if you use skin atau kalau kita gunakan kulit ataupun sisik itu less bitter biasanya. What about the? Can I ask? Yeah. So there is like the enzyme, we like to use like endoproteinase or exo. If which one we can choose? Like, is there any? Sorry, Pak.
So you have to understand first that they have two types of proteases. The first one is endoprotease, and the second one exopeptidase. So endopeptidase means that they cleave randomly in the chain of the peptide, and so this is more effective. But exopeptidase, they have two types: carboxypeptidase and carboxypeptidase, and they hydrolyze from N-terminal and C-terminal, but they cleave only one or couples amino acid. And why we still need exopeptidase? That because I mentioned that some hydrolysates they have bitterness. So now they have from some enzyme we call flavozyme. You have heard flavozyme. So this enzyme is kind of mixed between endopeptidase and exopeptidase. So it means that they hydrolyze that and produce the peptide. And if peptide generated, exopeptidase gonna cleave, one peptide, one amino acid or like a two amino acid from the N-terminal, C-terminal. Those of them is hydrophobic, so they are removed from the peptide. So as I mentioned, how we perceive the bitterness, the peptide with the N-terminal, C-terminal with the hydrophobic interact with the taste bud cell. So if we can remove it by exopeptidase, it doesn't affect much on the peptide you have because they remove only one or two. That's it. So that's why flavozyme is also recommended as if you face the problem with bitterness. Just.
Okay, thank you so much, Prof. Soottawat. Ya, jadi ada enzyme namanya flavozyme. Ya, itu mix ya, mix from endo and exo. Jadi itu lebih baik digunakan. Jadi sebenarnya kan ada exo, ada endo. Ya, kalau satu-satu mungkin agak lama begitu ya. Tapi kalau pakai flavozyme ini bisa langsung dua-duanya efeknya gitu. Jadi ngurangi bitterness juga. Ya, gitu ya, Mbak. Ya, sedikit kuliah kan kulit limbah.
Okay, thank you so much, Achan Sowat. Is there any question? We still have 4 minutes. Yes.
Baik, terima kasih atas waktunya. Perkenalkan, nama saya Nadia Rizky. Saya izin bertanya, Bu. Saat ini kan sektor perikanan Indonesia khususnya di bidang ekspor produk udang beku ke Amerika Serikat sedang menghadapi masalah serius, yaitu terpaparnya radioaktif cesium 137. Menurut Ibu, mengapa produk tersebut bisa terpapar radioaktif? Apakah terpapar dari proses produksi udang beku atau dari proses pertumbuhan udang ketika ditambak? Sedangkan di Indonesia tidak ada perusahaan pembangkit atau pembuatan nuklir. Terima kasih.
Oke, terima kasih. Sebenarnya Pak Fahri lebih tepat ini menjawabnya daripada saya, gitu.
Okay.
Tapi ini regarding food safety ya, regarding food safety juga. Udang ini tidak akan diterima ekspornya diterima di negara yang mengimpor kalau memang mengandung radioaktif ya. Jadi lebih ke proses ya, kalau penjaminan mutunya sepertinya itu, dan juga traceability dari dari raw material and processing ya, traceability, because the stream contain radioactive, in the news, Indonesian shrimp contain radioactive. Have you heard that? No, okay, don't read it then. Oke, ya, jadi lebih ke traceability dan penjaminan mutunya sih Mbak kalau menurut saya. Karena juga dari industrinya katanya ketahuan bahwa itu dekat dengan pabrik apa begitu. Jadi memang lebih ke sana. Mungkin Pak Fahri bisa menambah.
Actually, cesium is available, present in all the country, not only in Indonesia, but of course the content is still very, very low, just trace amount of cesium found, much less than the standard, but the US government, but according to our minister, we can still eat it, but I'm not sure about the long-term effect in our body, but still based on the information, I think the official information that product is still safe and we still can consume it. I think it's not every country has their their different rules, but of course for the US FDA especially, they even though the amount of cesium in the shrimp product is significantly lower than the standard, but they still reject it. Yeah, of course we need to pay more attention and just really take care about our culture environment. So I think government is already sudah mencoba menjaga itu untuk sehingga kedepannya tidak terjadi lagi. It will happen in the future. Okay, one more question maybe, Bu? No? One more question? Ada lagi? Okay, time is over. Okay, I would like to sum up, Ibu. Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have to come to an end of our inspiring session. We already attend for this conference for 2 days, and Dr. Rahmi has highlighted that fish waste valorization is not only a solution for environmental challenges, but also an opportunity for innovation, economic growth, and alignment with sustainable development goals. On behalf of the organizing committee, I sincerely thank Professor Rahmi for your valuable contribution during this presentation, and also thank all the participants for your active engagement. Thank you very much, and let us give one more round of big applause to our distinguished keynote speaker.
Thank you very much for the insightful discussion. May this knowledge inspire us to strengthen our commitment towards sustainable fisheries and marine resources for food security and human prosperity.
Excellencies, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, we are now moving to the final agenda of this evening, the closing ceremony of the International Conference on Fisheries and Marine Research 2025.
To begin this session, we are pleased to announce the best oral presenter and poster. The name will be displayed on the screen.
Best presenters. Best presenter for on-site room 10. Congratulations to Mahardini Hanifa from Universitas Brawijaya.
For best presenter on room 11, congratulations to Lorichika Gustinda Larasati from Universitas Jenderal Sudirman.
Best presenter for online room 1. Congratulations to Muhammad Arif Rahman from Universitas Brawijaya.
For best presenter for online room 2, congratulations for Jamaluddin Fitrah Alam for Hasanuddin University.
Best Presenter for Online Room 3. Congratulations to Anna Aryasari from Bengkulu University.
For Best Presenters Online for Room 4, congratulations to Aladin Ugani from Kota Batu State University, Philippines.
Best Presenter for Online Room 5. Congratulations to Yusuf Nurul Nadia from University Malaysia, Terengganu, Malaysia.
For the Best Presenters on Online Room 6, congratulations for Nur Hidayah Roseli from University Malaysia, Terengganu, Malaysia.
Best Presenter Online from Room 7. Congratulations to Muhammad Desta Eka Putra from Universitas Brawijaya.
Best Presenter Online for Room 8, congratulations for Wahyu Utami from Universitas of Muhammadiyah, Surakarta.
Best Posters. Congratulations to Zhang Shengwu from National Sun Yat-sen University, Taiwan and National Kaohsiung University of Science and Technology, Taiwan.
For favorite poster, congratulations to Suelin Lilin from National Pingtung University of Science and Technology, Taiwan. Congratulations on your achievement.
Congratulations to all the awardees. May this achievement serve as an opportunity to continue contributing and advancing the field of fisheries and marine research. We would also like to inform you that the certificate will be sent online. Once again, congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now present the closing remark by the Dean of Faculty of Marine Science and Fisheries, Universitas Brawijaya, Professor Dr. Asep Auluddin Prihanto. Here is the closing remark delivered through video presentation. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we're hearing the closing remarks from our Dean, I would like to invite our speakers today, Professor Soottawat and also Ibu Dr. Rahmi, and also the moderator of today's session, Pak Aziz and also Pak Fahri, to have a group picture on the front because we haven't captured the beautiful moment today. Please come forward. Masih ada uang? Okay, you may count from 1, 2, and 3. Okay, you get the picture? Okay, and then let me invite Ibu Feni for the special guest today and also Pak Tamrin. Pak Rizky ada? Oh, ada di belakang. Pak Rizky, our Vice Dean. Ibu ayo. Pak Tamrin. Iya, gak apa-apa. Biar makin. Pak Nurul Huda. Pak Haidar mau ikut foto nggak? Oke. Bisa dihitung 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Baik, terima kasih. Thank you very much. A big applause for our speakers and moderators today. So now let's hear our Dean's speech for today's closing. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It has been an honor to conclude this meaningful conference. I extend my sincere gratitude to our distinguished keynote speakers, all participants, and also the organizing committee for making the 6th ICoFMR 2025 a successfully event. Over the past 2 days, we have been reminded of the critical role of sustainable fisheries and marine resources in food security and prosperity. To discussion, here reaffirm the importance of collaboration, innovation, and responsibility in addressing the global challenge that we face. Let us carry forward the spirit of partnership and continue our collective journey towards sustainability. I look forward to meeting you again at the 7th ICoFMR as we advance fisheries and marine science for the benefit of the people and environment. Once again, on behalf of Faculty of Fisheries and Marine Science, Universitas Brawijaya, thank you for being part of this conference and for your kind attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Professor Asep, for your inspiring words.
Excellencies, participants, ladies and gentlemen, we have now arrived at the end of our journey in the 6th International Conference on Fisheries and Marine Research 2025.
It has been an honor for us to organize this event and to witness the invaluable knowledge shared over the past 2 days. We would like to take this moment to extend our deepest gratitude to all organizers, volunteers, and participants who have worked tirelessly to ensure the success for this conference. Your dedication and commitment have made this event possible, and we sincerely thank you for your invaluable contributions.
We would also like to extend our deepest gratitude to all speakers, moderators, and participants for their active engagement throughout this event. We sincerely hope that the knowledge and ideas shared today will not end here, but will continue to grow and develop in our future endeavors. Let us carry forward the inspiration and motivation from this conference to create a meaningful impact within our communities and beyond. As human beings, we realize that we are not invincible from mistakes. I am Dominic Sianipar.
And I'm Muhammad Gavin Alanaribowo.
As the Master of Ceremonies, would like to apologize for all the mistakes and inconvenience while hosting today's event. Thank you once again for joining us in the 6th International Conference on Fisheries and Marine Research 2025
under the theme Sustainable Fisheries and Marine Resources for Food Security and Human Prosperity. We hope you have a good day ahead, stay healthy, and see you in the 7th International Conference on Fisheries and Marine Research 2026.
Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Universitas Brawijaya was established by the President of the Republic of Indonesia on July 11,